tight ends time. Always tough because no one really cares about the tight ends. Actually, we'll go to Curtis first.
Riser, got to be Hawkinson. The man is bowling, and the entirety of that Lions offense goes through that man. So he will be continuing to bowl, and he might be the most consistent tight end in the league at the moment and going into the future. Seems like he might be a consistent 20 given that entire offense is on his back. And the faller's got to be Higby for me. Pilch said last week that he thought he could be a serious, or I don't know if he said it in the potty, but definitely said it off the potty, that he thought Higby might be a tight end 10 this top 10 this year, and the man had one catch for 8 yards. So if you have him, alarm bells ringing, mate.
I'm not off Higby yet. I'm not off him. I'm not giving up that top 10. Nah, I reckon it was against the Colts, mate. They're sick. But nah, it could be a worry. Well, it is a worry, but like I'm not losing faith just yet. But it is for all watch. How did Kyle Pitts go this week? You happy with that pick, mate?
The man's on the rise.
Nah, I saw it was like high in the targets across the 2 weeks. So I was wondering.
His targets are going up, mate. He's taking over. I think it's Hurst. So mate, he's gonna be a bowler. I'm ranking him tight end 4, and don't want to hear anything else about it. Cheers, boys.
Tight end 4.
Game script's unreal for him, to be fair. But
exactly.
Yeah, Matt Ryan has to throw it to the people with the same jersey as him on, not the others.
Take it back, Pilch.
Did any of you watch Mic'd Up from week 1? Because if so, I don't know why. You saying Hawk just reminded me. The new Lions coach, absolute cooker.
What a man, though. What a man.
Oh, I rate his hype up ability, but like, I don't know how he walks away from a game with a voice. He's scary, but yes. Anyway, my tight ends. I know you boys don't like him, but my rise is the Gronk. 4 red zone targets. He was my number 10 going into the week. He had 14 red zone targets all of last year, and he's already had 4. As I've mentioned the whole podcast, I think Brady's gone for that record blatantly. And who's his favourite red zone man? It's your boy Gronk. He's also had 13 targets, which is pretty handy just across the whole ground. Don't get fooled by his average, though, because he's currently catching at 92%, which is unsustainable. His career average is about 65%. So keep that in mind, but I just think his tight end prowess. And I know you don't like a tight end who relies on a touchdown to do well, but he's getting enough targets, and I think his touchdowns are going to be that common. I don't even think it's a bad play if you don't have one of the big boys. Unfortunately, with the Gronk, though, his fantasy value is sort of higher because he's a well-known name, especially in our league. That's sort of how some things work. So, yeah, it might be tough to get him, but definitely think he's undervalued. Well, I undervalued him at 10. And then my faller is my boy, George Kittle. Last week, I just put it down to a bit of rust and all that. This week, whole San Fran offense, barring Debo, looked like absolute nutsack. He was my number 2. This week, he's definitely going below Waller, potentially below others. He's had 9 targets in 2 weeks. I don't think he's going to be bad. Like, I still think he's a solid chance of being top 3, but I think the gap between him and the rest is going to be a lot lower this year. I think he's going to come back to the pack, and Kelsey and Waller are sort of going to be on their own. He's had no red zone targets yet, and yeah, it's just not fun. Not fun at the moment for a George Kittle owner. The only positive is I don't think their reliance on Deebo Samuel is I don't think it's sustainable. He's had like 20 targets, and the next most is actually Kittle with 9. So I think eventually there's got to be someone else who stands out from the crowd. Hopefully it's Kittle. Could be IU. Could be anyone. But yeah, right now, San Fran. Could be Mitchell, as he is a running back riser this week. But I won't laugh because it's legit fair. I did see Hasty was out for this weekend.
Sermon.
Yes. Sermon? Concussed on like play 3 or something.
The man gets 1 touch and he's KO'd.
Yeah, that's the only reason Mitchell came back, because there was no one left. He was like forced to play, and he was still injured. But yeah, anyway, I feel bad for San Fran. Their injury luck right now is cooked, but hopefully Kittle starts lifting his game. Pilch, tight ends, my friend.
Yeah, I must say it's actually kind of getting a bit strange how often San Fran running backs get injured. There's about 10 injuries to their running backs this season. But my TEs, riser, definitely Gronkowski. Huge riser for me. He's just goated, and he's proved everyone, the entire community, wrong 2 years in a row. And then my faller is actually Mark Andrews, 2 stinkers in a row. Was drafted very high, and he's not living up to it. So certainly a faller.
He was my faller last week. Happy with that one. But how do you go this week? Did he get like 2 points? Oh no, I've versed him.
I swear he scored like 6 or something.
Yeah, he had it. Yeah, he might have scored like 8. Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't great from him at all. I think their extra weapons breaking out not going to help his cause at all. But yes, I am worried about the Kittle Meister.
Sucks to suck, boys.
Thinking about
Sucks to not crack 100 2 weeks in a row, mate.
My team, I just don't even know.
I can laugh at that, even though I had a shocking week.
It's a miracle! Oh, yeah! What about that one? Unbelievable! Balotelli, Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle.